obviously I had to have some kind of segment on filmmaking books, on a more academic category. But basically, I have so many film books that I don't really know what to recommend anymore, because this is stuff that I read since high school. I've had some of these books that long. Most of them are from college. You know, I don't remember now where I learned a lot of things I did, but basically the thing is, I think a lot of these filmmaking books are kind of obsolete now, because a lot of them are about shooting on film, and, you know, digital videos come along since. Really, there's just no rules in filmmaking. That times change. People are reinventing it all the time. So I don't really know which one to recommend, but they're out there. I mean, you can get books on screenwriting and how to write a screenplay, or books on, you know, just all just general into, you know, making films. But if I'm gonna pick one book that stuck with me, it's one that I read when I was probably about 15 when I read this. It is Rebel Without a Crew by Robert Rodriguez, because this is the most inspiring book I ever read. Or at the time I read this left such an impact on me. This book changed my life. It made me want to make films. Well, I was already doing it before then, but I was kind of down. I just felt like there's no way I'm going to be able to make movies, because you know, you need $1 million, and like, how are you going to do that? And then this guy, 23 years old, makes a film for $7,000. Well, actually, I have something to say about that soon, because I had film professors who would rant about that, because that actually upset a lot of my film professors. I'll tell you about that in a minute. But it's just everything in this book. It's encouraging. I guess that's the best word. Is that everything in it I relate to. Like, a lot of times he's talking about how he doesn't like tripods, he likes to be handheld, and he likes to move, you know, a lot. And I'm like, yeah, I do that a lot. Yeah, and like I just related to it. Editing on 2 VCRs. He edited on 2 VCRs, and I was like, I didn't know anybody else did that. That's awesome. And you know, to raise the money to make the film, El Mariachi, which is that this book is mostly all about the making of it. It's like a journal, but he sold his body to science. So he was a human lab rat, basically. He would you know, subject him to all kinds of tests. But that's what he did to raise the money. But anyway, I mean, so the $7,000 thing was basically, since then there's been that cost has multiplied a lot, because of all the studio executives who bought the movie, transferred it to 35 millimeter, dubbed in English. It was originally made for the Mexican market, but they did all kinds of promotion with it. So basically, like, the budget ballooned after that, but still, he went out there and made it for this low cost. And I remember being in one of my film classes, and the film professor went around the room and was like, "Oh, everybody introduce yourself." It was the first day, and like, what kind of movies do you like, or what are you into? And I remember I said, "Oh, I'm into Robert Rodriguez. He's my favorite director." And then right away he just went into this rant. He's like, "There's no way he made that movie for $7,000." And I'm like, "Huh? Like, yeah." And I'm just like, "Well, I just like his stuff. I just like his rebel attitude. That's what he is. He's a rebel." And that just made him seem so much cooler to me, that he destroyed the whole concept of filmmaking and just turned it around. And now like, anybody could make a movie. Like, the teacher's like, "There's no way. Like, you can't make a movie for $7,000. Twice that's happened. Another film professor did the same thing. They just don't like it. They don't like the idea that somebody made a movie that cheap. If you're going to read this book, I mean, it gets really in-depth about the making of El Mariachi. It goes into, like, the journal and everything. But if you're going to skip the one thing, go to the end. He has the 10-minute film school, and that's basically where he just lays it all down, all the things that he, you know, all his philosophies in making movies. It's basically just really simple. It's just go out and do it. That's all. It's like, whatever you have available, just, you know, use it to your advantage and be creative. And if I'm going to, like, pick out something, like, basically he's talking about, don't try to make a Hollywood movie, because you're never going to have as much money as Hollywood. That's just ridiculous. So you're just going to come off looking like a cheap imitator. So go down that route. So go the opposite way. Why try and make a slick looking film when you have no money? Don't even try. Make a movie that Hollywood could never make, no matter how much money they have. Tell a story they'd never risk, or make a movie that goes for the throat the way they'd never do because they're too mainstream. Fill your film with great ideas, which they can't come up with no matter how much money they have. They can't make their movies more creative with money, only more expensive. The creative person with limitless imagination and no money can make a better film than the talentless mogul with the limitless checkbook every time. Take advantage of your disadvantages, feature the few assets you may have, and work harder than anyone else around you. When given an opportunity, deliver excellence and never quit. Awesome stuff. So that's the one book, really, when it comes down to it. There's tons of filmmaking books you could read, but this is the one that motivated me when I was like 15 or whatever. There are a lot of other good ones. Actually, if I'm going to pick more than that, really, the books by Lloyd Kaufman. This is one of the more recent ones, Sell Your Own Damn Movie, which I just read recently. It's great stuff, but really, if you're going to start with the Lloyd Kaufman books, I have to mention, because I don't have them here. See, that's how good they are, is that I lend them out to people constantly, so I never actually have them in my possession. I'm always being like a library with that one. Should actually put a card thing in the back, but the first one is called All I Need to Know About Filmmaking I Learned from the Toxic Avenger. It's kind of self-deprecating, so it's like a little bit depressing in a way, but it's really encouraging in the long run, and it has the same exact mentality. Just go out and do it. It's one of the funniest books I ever read. You can't go wrong. Just get it and just go front to back. Just read the whole thing. You can't go wrong. But then he started doing the Make Your Own Damn Movie books, and the first one, Make Your Own Damn Movie. Then there's a Direct Your Own Damn Movie and lots of other ones. But the first one was just Make Your Own Damn Movie, and that one's a little more like step-by-step kind of thing. It's more about the process, where the Toxic Avenger one's kind of more like it's a little more like his life story. It's a really good guide to just making films, and just, it's very inspiring, but it also has a lot of that great Lloyd humor. Goes off topic a lot. There's a whole chapter that's all about taking a shit. It's just about, on a film set, do not underestimate the amount of fecal matter that comes out of 50 assholes, and it's just about making sure that you have a portable bathroom with you wherever you go, which is true. That's a big thing on the Nerd Movie, was always having to have a place to go to the bathroom. It's one of the most important things. But anyway, he talks about how they didn't have a porta potty one time on set, and they had to shit in bags and then throw them out the window. Or he talks about they had one porta potty, and then the shit overflowed. He said the shit went above the toilet seat. Oh God, that's really it with filmmaking. I mean, there's tons and tons of other books, but I'm gonna go with one more. This isn't exactly filmmaking. It's more like still photography, but I was in a photography class one time. I just want to get this in here somehow. This is Irrational Images by Scott Mutter. And this is an awesome book visually. It's just a bunch of photographs that are done in photo montage. So all done optically, I believe, where it's just blending photos. Yeah, because I did, because I had to do a paper on this in a photography class, and I actually did this kind of stuff, and which I was not very successful at. It's very hard to do. I would optically. Oh, you could do it in camera. But I was also doing it like in the developing stage. So when you're actually developing the film, you can put different kind of mats on top of it. Really complicated process, but to combine more than one image. And that's what this does. Excellent photo montage, and just great ideas, because they're just, you just look at them and they give you these stories in your head. Like, why is this picture the way they did? Why did they decide to make a bunch of cars going through the aisle in a church? Like, what does that mean? Great stuff. I mean, this is another book that I would always put on my coffee table in my dorm room, and people will just look at them, and it's just a great conversation piece. So not exactly filmmaking, but I wanted to get it in here somewhere. It's always been a classic with me. Irrational Images. So check it out.